Alright everyone, so I just watched The Silence, which is the newest Netflix horror movie. And whether these horror movies are good or bad on Netflix, we've got some good ones and we got some bad ones. I like to watch, I like to see whenever they release these new ones on Netflix because whether they're good or bad, I like to stay in the loop. And I really love horror, so I really like to see every single one that comes out. And there are a lot I haven't seen because I just started this recently, just watching the Netflix ones. I need to watch a lot of the other ones that were released, like Apostle. Like I really want to see that one, and other ones I can't think of right at the moment. But and The Ritual. Like I really want to see The Ritual as well. But last week I watched Mercy Black, which was pretty just like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. Like it was just in between. And funny enough, 2 for 2. Let's talk about The Silence, which stars Stanley Tucci and Miranda Otto and that girl from The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the new Netflix show. So I'm going to ease you guys in on this. I'm going to ease you in on the plot because I want you to not fully know what it is until I tell you. So in Pennsylvania, 1,000 feet under the Appalachian Trail, beasts are released. Like these people break open a secret thing that like a secret hole that like makes all these beasts fly out, and like they're like little pterodactyl bats. They look like pterodactyls, and they are released. And the main plot, besides that, is that there's a deaf main character named Allie. The character who's Sabrina and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, that's the actress who plays Allie. But there's a deaf character named Allie. And these creatures are released, and you can't make noise. You've gotta be silent. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you gotta be quiet. It's like A Quiet Place. Again. But it's nowhere near as good. Like, it's literally just a ripoff of A Quiet Place. And I know horror movies, whenever they're big, like, we always get ripoff movies. Like, whenever The Nun came out, there was a movie on Redbox called The Bad Nun, which looked terrible, and I didn't see it. I kind of wanted to, because I wanted to see how terrible it was, but there's always going to be that. If a movie becomes big, there's always going to be a ripoff for it. And this one was, in concept, hilarious. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're going to do the exact same thing, not even try to make a difference. Like, and it's weird because the deaf girl in the movie, like, she's a teenager and she went deaf like 3 years before the movie starts. And they have sign language talking to her, but you would never expect that she's, like, it never seems like she's actually deaf because she's talking normal. And I know that she had learned all of her speaking functions before she went deaf, so she wouldn't not be able to speak, but she talks just like she can hear them perfectly. Like, it's literally that stupid. Like, it's not trying to be like she's actually deaf. And they use that excuse of that she is a teenager and 3 years ago she lost her hearing. So she would have already learned her hearing, but she talks like she's literally just listening to them. Like they're both, like neither characters, like all the characters are talking to her like she is not deaf. And she responds like she is not deaf. But the plot tells us that, or the writing tells us that she is deaf. Okay. And the difference between this and A Quiet Place is that, like I said, instead of like those big ass creatures from A Quiet Place, this one is that there's these little bat creatures who are doing all the killings, and the CG in this is terrible and really shoddy. Like it looks very bad. Also, like, despite the fact that it's really cheesy and bad with the CGI with those creatures, there is a little intimidation. I'm not gonna lie, there is a little intimidation of them being in a literal swarm all around everything. Like, there's millions of them just flying around in the world, like, swarming people who are right there trying not to make any noise. That in concept sounds really, really effective. And there's a shot in the movie where Stanley Tucci is just walking very silently, and, like, they're all around him, like he is swarmed, and they're going to attack if he makes noise. That one moment in the movie I thought was actually well done. So I thought that in concept the intimidation of these creatures is good, but it's not utilized well in the movie. Um, but there was also one other positive, I guess I can give it. This one funny scene where since they fight anything that makes noise, there's a wood chipper that gets turned on, and they freaking go towards the wood chipper and go right through it and get wood chipped, like they get killed. A lot of them do, which I thought was a funny moment, but despite a scene of intimidation and despite a scene of funny like gore, this movie was just dull and dreadful. Like there's nothing memorable about it. These characters aren't memorable. They're the exact like the character Allie is the same as the girl from A Quiet Place, except for she can talk like a normal person, and like their conversations with her, it's like she's not even deaf at all. And then the way that like she has that kind of she has this narration to the movie that's really stupid, and it's like this existential like I'm like will these creatures live like belong like will these creatures like be able to like will we be able to evolve without speaking, or will these creatures have them evolve and we'll die? Like it's dumb writing where it's just like this girl's trying to be way more like what she is, like in terms of like it's just really dumb writing, and it's got a lot of dumb shit in it too. Like they've got a moment in the movie too where it's like a freaking Bird Box. It's like Bird Box in one scene too, where like there's this cult that's just in the movie too, and like there's this little girl, and they're like, don't let her in, and then they let her in, just like they do with the pregnant lady in Bird Box, and then of course something happens. People like it's just like really it's just the exact same fucking movie as A Quiet Place. Um, it doesn't like they're different locations. It's not I guess it's not the same location as A Quiet Place, but still it is in concept the same movie with just these bat pterodactyl type creatures who are just killing people, and like they gotta be quiet. And it isn't the worst thing ever made. It is not. It is bad though. I don't think it's good. I think this was a really dull, really stupid and boring movie that just completely banked on the fact that A Quiet Place was great and like a great movie, made a lot of money. Everybody loved it. So they made the Netflix version of it. And not to say that as an insult to Netflix, because Netflix has some great shit. Like really, they do. But then they have some really crappy movies too. But I mean, with any medium of film, like you're gonna find something good and bad. It's not like there's one that's great and one that's horrible. So yeah, this one sucked. This one was really lame and boring, and I don't know if I'll remember it because it is again a repeat of A Quiet Place, but worse. It's not anything special. So that's my thoughts on the Silence, and tell me down below what you thought of the Silence, and thank you guys so much for watching.